Imagine this, you are surrounded by people chasing success. Some do so with integrity, working hard, staying true to their values and playing by the rules. They believe that if they work hard enough, do the right things and are good people, success will inevitably follow. They hold on to the belief that meritocracy still exists, that their talents and virtues will be recognized. But then there are others, those who choose deceit, manipulation, and the ruthless elimination of anyone in their way to climb higher. They understand that the rules of success aren't as straightforward as people like to believe. And yet, who do you often see ruling at the top? Who sets the rules and owns the game? It's the ruthless. The ones who act without hesitation or remorse, who are willing to do whatever it takes to secure their place in the world, no matter the cost to others. Why is the world built in such a way that it seems to favor those without a moral compass? Is it an accident, a flaw, or is there something deeper at play here? History shouts the answer. Caesars, emperors, warlords, billionaires. The pattern is consistent. It's not a coincidence. It's not some temporary aberration or random chance. It is the system itself. Those who rise to the top are not always those who are best suited to lead in terms of integrity, kindness, or fairness. They are often those who understand how to use power to their advantage, who understand the game at its most primal level, and who are prepared to do what others are too afraid to do. To understand this uncomfortable truth, we must look deeper into the human psyche and confront a harsh reality. Power isn't awarded to the virtuous, it's seized by the bold. Society comforts us with the illusion that success is the result of hard work, talent, and integrity. It tells us that good things happen to good people. But history, business, and politics reveal a far darker, more honest picture. Power does not reward the deserving. It favors those who are willing to take it, often by any means necessary. The world doesn't reward the most well-intentioned or the most hard-working. It rewards those who can seize and maintain power with unwavering confidence. The system isn't structured to uplift the righteous. It serves those who grasp how it operates and exploit it without hesitation. Success is rarely about fairness or moral righteousness. It's about strategy, control, and the willingness to do what others won't, to make choices others are unwilling to make. And in that pursuit, those who sacrifice their own morality in the name of winning will often find themselves rewarded. Why do corrupt politicians flourish while their honest counterparts fade into obscurity? Because they understand the real game better than their virtuous rivals. Politics isn't about justice or righting wrongs. It's about influence, manipulation, and the careful dance of power. Leaders who manipulate the system, silence opposition, and tell the masses what they want to hear consistently rise higher than those who sacrifice power for integrity. In the cutthroat world of politics, morality is often the first casualty. In the pursuit of domination, morality becomes a hindrance. History shows us the truth. The most powerful rulers weren't the most ethical, they were the most strategic. They didn't win by adhering to moral codes or upholding ethical standards. They won by bending the rules to their advantage, by betraying allies when it suited them, and by making hard decisions others were too soft to make. Promises were made and broken when convenient. Alliances were built and betrayed for personal gain. In the end, power isn't granted, it's seized. In the business world, it's the ruthless who dominate the field. Business is war, not charity. CEOs who value fairness over efficiency or loyalty over performance are often overtaken by competitors who are willing to make the hard, brutal choices. Companies that survive are the ones willing to cut jobs, exploit markets, and bend the rules to their will. The economy doesn't reward kindness. Kindness doesn't drive profits. It rewards dominance, those who are willing to go to extremes to achieve their goals. The ability to rise above others in the marketplace requires a disregard for certain ethical lines that others are too afraid to cross. History's greatest rulers often have the darkest pasts. Alexander the Great didn't conquer the world through diplomacy. He razed cities to the ground. Julius Caesar didn't rise by honoring the Senate. He betrayed it. Napoleon Bonaparte didn't build an empire by following rules. He rewrote them. And yet, despite their ruthless actions, they were celebrated as some of history's greatest minds. Their achievements left an indelible mark on the world, and their names are still spoken of today with a mixture of reverence and fear. Power has never been about kindness. It's about control. Fairness is a myth, one told to keep the masses obedient. Workers are told to stay loyal even as corporations abandon them at the first sign of trouble. Citizens are taught to obey laws, even as elites bend them to their advantage. The truth is simple. Fairness serves those who control the narrative, not those who believe in it. And power doesn't care for ideals of fairness. It cares about who can command and who can dominate. Power isn't about being deserving, it's about being relentless. Nietzsche's philosophy challenges us to rethink our understanding of power and morality. He believed that true power comes not from entitlement or birthright, but from an unyielding will and determination. This relentless pursuit of one's goals, regardless of societal norms or moral constraints, is what defines a truly powerful individual. Friedrich Nietzsche exposed the deception behind morality in his groundbreaking work Beyond Good and Evil. In this seminal text, Nietzsche delves deep into the origins and functions of moral values, questioning their validity and purpose. He posits that what we often consider to be moral truths are, in fact, constructs designed to serve specific interests and maintain social order. He argued that morality isn't an absolute truth, but a social construct, crafted to control the strong and empower the weak. Nietzsche's critique of morality is not just a philosophical exercise, it is a call to recognize the power dynamics at play in our ethical systems. By understanding that morality is a tool used by the weak to constrain the strong, we can begin to see the world in a new light. What we call good and evil are merely inventions serving particular interests that seek to suppress the strong in favor of the weak. This inversion of values, where the weak are elevated and the strong are vilified, is a central theme in Nietzsche's work. He challenges us to question who benefits from these moral codes and to consider the possibility that they are designed to keep the powerful in check. Interests that seek to suppress the strong in favor of the weak. Nietzsche's perspective invites us to see beyond the surface of moral judgments and to understand the underlying power structures that they support. By doing so, we can begin to liberate ourselves from the constraints of conventional morality and embrace a more authentic and powerful way of being. The strong recognize morality for what it is, a cage designed to restrict potential rulers, to keep them from realizing their fullest potential. Nietzsche's philosophy is a call to break free from these constraints and to embrace our true nature as powerful, creative beings. By rejecting the moral codes that seek to limit us, we can unlock our full potential and achieve greatness, to keep them from realizing their fullest potential. Nietzsche's vision of the strong individual is one who is unafraid to challenge the status quo and to forge their own path. This requires a willingness to confront and overcome the obstacles that society places in our way and to embrace the struggle as a necessary part of the journey towards self-realization. At the core of Nietzsche's philosophy is the will to power, the fundamental force driving human beings. This concept goes beyond mere physical or political power. It encompasses the drive to create, to innovate, and to shape the world according to one's vision. The will to power is the essence of what it means to be truly alive and fully human. Humans aren't driven by a need for happiness or even survival. They crave power, the ability to impose their will upon the world, to shape their environment, and to leave their mark on history. This drive is what sets us apart from other creatures and what propels us to achieve great things. It is the force that fuels our ambitions and inspires our greatest achievements to conquer their limitations. Nietzsche's philosophy encourages us to see our limitations not as insurmountable barriers, but as challenges to be overcome. By embracing the will to power, we can push beyond our perceived limits and achieve things that we never thought possible. This requires a mindset of relentless determination and a refusal to be constrained by conventional thinking. True power isn't merely political or physical. It's intellectual, creative, and psychological. The greatest expressions of power come from the mind and the spirit. It is the ability to think deeply, to create beauty, and to strategize effectively that defines true power. Nietzsche's philosophy challenges us to cultivate these qualities within ourselves and to use them to shape our destiny. The greatest minds, philosophers, artists, warriors, weren't passive seekers of truth. They were active creators, shaping their world and bending it to their will. These individuals exemplify the will to power in its highest form, using their intellect, creativity, and strength to leave a lasting impact on the world. They were architects of reality, shaping their world and bending it to their will. Nietzsche's philosophy invites us to see ourselves as creators and shapers of our own reality. By embracing the will to power, we can take control of our destiny and create a world that reflects our highest values and aspirations. This is the true essence of Nietzsche's perspective on power and morality. The will to power isn't about cruelty for its own sake. It's about overcoming limitations, defying false moralities, and forging one's own destiny. Those who embrace it shape history, leaving behind legacies that endure. Those who deny it are forgotten by it. Nietzsche distinguished two types of morality: master morality, the morality of the strong, celebrating strength, ambition, and greatness. Masters create their own values without seeking permission or approval from others. They are not confined by traditional notions of good and evil. Slave morality, the morality of the weak, glorifying submission, obedience, and victimhood. Instead of striving for power, they resent it, and instead of seeking greatness, they settle for mediocrity and compliance. Society encourages slave morality, teaching the masses that ambition is selfish. From a young age, we are conditioned to believe that striving for more is inherently wrong, that seeking personal success is a form of greed. This mindset is deeply ingrained in our education systems, our workplaces, and even in our social interactions. We are told to be humble, to not stand out, to blend in with the crowd, and strength is evil, ensuring that few dare to rise. The powerful have always feared the rise of the strong-willed, the independent thinkers, and the rebels. By labeling strength as evil, society ensures that the majority remain docile, compliant, and easy to control. This suppression is evident in the way dissent is handled, in the way protests are quelled, and in the way voices of opposition are silenced. It tells them to be content with what they have, to accept their place, and to not question the status quo. This message is reinforced through various channels: media, religion, and even family traditions. We are constantly bombarded with the idea that happiness comes from acceptance, that peace is found in conformity, and that questioning the system is a path to chaos and destruction, and to bow down to the system. This bowing down is not just physical but mental and emotional. It is a surrender of one's own will, a submission to the collective will of society. This submission is often masked as respect, as duty, as loyalty, but in reality it is a way to keep the masses in check, to prevent any form of uprising or rebellion. But the reality is starkly different. The greatest leaders, the most influential figures, and the ones who changed the course of history were not those who followed the rules. They were the ones who dared to dream, who dared to defy the norms, and who dared to challenge the status quo. They were the ones who saw beyond the limitations imposed by society and envisioned a world that was different, a world that was better. And the ones who changed the course of history were not those who followed the rules, but those who created their own. These individuals were often seen as troublemakers, as rebels, as outcasts. But it was their vision, their courage, and their determination that led to some of the most significant changes in history. They were not afraid to stand alone, to face opposition, and to fight for what they believed in. But those who created their own, they were the inventors, the pioneers, the visionaries. They were the ones who saw possibilities where others saw obstacles, who saw opportunities where others saw challenges. They were the ones who were willing to take risks, to fail, and to try again. They were the ones who believed in their own potential and were not afraid to pursue their dreams. The choice is yours. Live by the morality forced upon you, or create your own. This is not an easy choice. It requires courage, determination, and a willingness to face opposition. But it is a choice that can lead to a life of fulfillment, a life of purpose, and a life of meaning. It is a choice that can lead to greatness, to making a difference, and to leaving a legacy. History doesn't remember the obedient. It remembers the ones who rose above, who fought for their place and claimed their power. It remembers the ones who dared to be different, who dared to challenge the norms, and who dared to make a difference. It remembers the ones who were not afraid to stand up, to speak out, and to take action. It remembers the ones who rose above, who fought for their place and claimed their power. These are the individuals who have left a mark on history, who have inspired generations, and who have changed the world. They are the ones who have shown us that it is possible to rise above the limitations imposed by society, to fight for what we believe in, and to claim our own power. Who fought for their place and claimed their power. They are the ones who have shown us that true power comes from within, from believing in ourselves and from having the courage to pursue our dreams. They are the ones who have shown us that we have the power to shape our own destiny, to create our own path, and to make a difference in the world. Success isn't random. It follows a psychological formula. Across every domain, history, business, politics, those who achieve power possess distinct psychological traits: ambition, a relentless drive that sees every obstacle as fuel, every failure as a stepping stone; decisiveness, acting swiftly and confidently instead of hesitating, knowing that delay is the enemy of progress; fearlessness, embracing risk, seeing fear as a compass pointing toward growth, not retreat; strategic ruthlessness, knowing when to obey the rules and when to break them, understanding that sometimes success requires bending the law and ethics. Winners aren't necessarily the most moral, they are the most ambitious, fearless, and strategic. They are the ones who understand that success is not about being good, it's about being strong, being bold, and doing what others are too afraid to do. The cold truth: the world rewards strength, not goodness. Rewards strength. Yet those who climb through sheer ruthlessness are also at risk of collapse. History warns us: Julius Caesar assassinated because his power became a threat to those who felt it was too great. Napoleon Bonaparte overreached and fell from emperor to exile. His empire crumbled under the weight of his ambition. Corporate giants, once dominant companies like Blockbuster and Kodak, fell because they failed to evolve, to adapt, to maintain power. Power must be mastered, or it will destroy you. The key isn't just in seizing power, but in maintaining it wisely. Without wisdom, without strategic thinking, power is as fragile as glass. The ultimate question remains: will you control power, or will it control you? This question has echoed through the corridors of history, challenging leaders, thinkers, and visionaries alike. Power, in its essence, is neither good nor evil. It is a tool, a force that can shape destinies, build empires, or destroy civilizations. The way you wield it determines its impact. 4 principles to rise without falling. Reject naive morality. Don't blindly believe that goodness alone will save you. History is replete with examples of well-meaning individuals who, despite their good intentions, failed because they underestimated the complexities of power. They believed that their inherent goodness would shield them from the harsh realities of leadership. But power is a double-edged sword, and those who wield it must be prepared for its challenges. See morality as a tool, not a cage designed to keep you in check. Morality should guide your actions, but it shouldn't bind you. It should be a compass, not a prison. Leaders who understand this can navigate the treacherous waters of power with grace and effectiveness. They can make tough decisions without being paralyzed by doubt or guilt. Embrace strength. Build traits that command respect. Ambition, confidence, decisiveness. These traits are not just desirable, they are essential. Ambition drives you forward, confidence ensures you stand your ground, and decisiveness allows you to act swiftly and effectively. Together they form the backbone of sustainable power. These will ensure your power is never in question. When you embody these traits, you project an aura of authority and competence. People are naturally drawn to leaders who exude strength and confidence. They trust them, follow them, and are inspired by them. Stay strategic. Know when to forge alliances, when to show kindness, and when to strike. Strategy is the art of timing. It's about understanding the landscape, recognizing opportunities, and knowing when to act. A strategic leader is always a few steps ahead, anticipating challenges and preparing for them. The game is about more than just winning. It's about knowing how to play. In the grand chessboard of life, every move counts. It's not just about achieving victory. It's about playing the game with skill, foresight, and wisdom. A true leader understands this and approaches every challenge with a strategic mindset. Adapt and evolve. Those who fail to grow are doomed to fall. The world is in a constant state of flux. New challenges arise, old paradigms shift, and what worked yesterday may not work today. Leaders who cling to the past, who resist change, are left behind. The world doesn't stay the same, and neither should you. Embrace change, seek out new knowledge, and be willing to adapt. This is the key to sustainable power. By continuously evolving, you ensure that you remain relevant, effective, and capable of leading in an ever-changing world. Power doesn't have to corrupt. True mastery comes from balancing strength with wisdom. The question is, will you be wise enough to control it, or will you be consumed by it? Share and subscribe for more psychology and philosophy videos.